If you're hearing this right now, it's not random. It's not luck. It's not an algorithm. It's alignment. Because this message isn't for everyone. In fact, only 2% will truly feel it. Not just hear it, but understand it. Deep in the marrow of their bones. A remembering of something they were never taught, yet somehow always knew. This message is for the misfits, the silent warriors, the ones who were born with an ache they couldn't explain, a knowing they couldn't shake, a heaviness in their chest that no one else seemed to carry. You were never like the others. You felt too much, saw too much, asked too many questions, and somewhere along the way, the world told you to shut that part of yourself down. But you couldn't, not fully. You could play the part, smile at the right time, blend in just enough to survive. But deep inside, something kept whispering, "You're different. You're here for something more." And that whisper, it never went away. In fact, the older you got, the louder it became, even in your darkest moments, especially in your darkest moments. Because here's what most people won't tell you. The chosen ones go through the worst storms, not because they're cursed, but because they're being carved, shaped, sharpened. You weren't born to live an average life. You were born to shift timelines, to shatter illusions, to wake up a sleeping world. And that kind of mission, it requires isolation, pain, loss, silence, and power. That's why you never fit in, not at school, not in your family, not even in relationships. You kept waiting for someone to see you, really see you. But every time you got close, they'd pull away, or worse, try to change you. Because your energy isn't familiar, it's remembered, it's ancient, it's disruptive. You walk into a room and people feel something. Before you speak, before you move. That's your presence. That's your frequency. That's the rare light only 2% carry. The world fears it, not because you're dangerous, but because your truth is. You're the one who calls out the lies they built their lives around. You're the one who breaks generational patterns, the one who knows things without being told. And that terrifies them. They'll call you crazy, too deep, too intense, too sensitive. But let me tell you something. You are too real for a fake world. And the real ones will always feel you. But here's the secret no one talks about. Before you awaken others, you must first survive your own awakening. And that journey, it's brutal. You'll lose friends, family, comfort. You'll question everything. Your purpose, your worth, your mind. Some nights, you'll cry so hard your soul will shake. Some days, you'll want to give up, disappear, go numb. But don't. Because that pain is sacred. That loneliness is sacred. That confusion is sacred. It's the undoing of who you thought you were, so you can remember who you really are. And you, chosen one, you are not weak. You're not broken. You're becoming. They won't understand the dreams you have, the visions, the pull to isolate, the hunger for something more. But the truth is, your soul made a contract before you came here. You chose this path, this intensity, this fire, because only fire can burn away the illusions, and only the forge can carry the message. This world doesn't need more noise. It needs frequency. It needs souls who've walked through the dark and came out glowing. Souls like yours. But not all will understand this. Not everyone is ready. Only a few. The 2%. The ones who've been through hell, but never lost their heart. The ones who've faced death of ego, of identity, of safety, and still chose to rise. That's you. That's why you're hearing this now. You didn't find this video. Your soul called it in. You've been asking for signs, for clarity, for confirmation. This is it. Your timeline is shifting. Your old world is collapsing, and your higher self is breaking through. That pressure you feel, that's not anxiety. It's transformation. That weight on your chest, that's your truth trying to breathe. You can't shrink anymore. You can't fake it anymore. You can't pretend you're like everyone else, because you never were. And you know that now. This is the awakening, not the pretty kind, not the love and light kind, but the real one. The one that strips you bare, breaks you open, and shows you the truth that you've been carrying since before you were born. You're not just awakening for yourself. You're the chain breaker in your bloodline. You are the cycle ender, the system disruptor, the chosen one. And even if no one around you gets it, even if you feel alone, you are not alone. There are others, scattered across the globe, quiet, watching, waiting, rising. And soon, you'll find them, not because you chased, but because your energy called them in. Until then, keep going, keep glowing, keep trusting that whisper. The world may not understand you, but the divine does. And that divine force, it's about to push you into places no one ever expected you to reach. You're not late. You're right on time. The shift is here, and you're leading it. They tried to bury you in fear, in shame, in silence, but what they didn't know is that you are a seed. And chosen ones don't die in the dark. They grow in it. That season where everything fell apart, that wasn't the end. It was the activation. Your breakdown was a doorway. Your silence was sacred space. You weren't being punished. You were being purified. Because the real chosen ones, they're not perfect. They're not loud. They're not looking for approval. They're often the ones no one expected. The outcasts, the quiet warriors, the ones who carried pain like armor until they remembered they were made of light. And that's what this moment is. A remembrance. A soul-coded signal sent through the chaos of the world to reach the few who would recognize it, not with their mind, but with their spirit. That's why most people won't get it. They'll scroll past. They'll dismiss it. They'll laugh at it, because they're still asleep, still trapped in the dream of who the world told them to be. But not you. You see through it now. The fake smiles, the empty success, the spiritual bypassing, the distraction, the distortion, the noise. You've unplugged. You've gone within. You've touched something real. And now you can never go back. And that scares them, because people who found themselves don't follow trends. They don't chase crowds. They walk with a different rhythm, the divine rhythm, one that can't be replicated, copied, or sold. You feel it, don't you? That shift in your soul, that magnetic pull toward your true path. You can't explain it. It's not logical. It's not convenient, but it's undeniable. And it's leading you somewhere sacred, to your purpose, to your soul family, to the version of you that's not just surviving, but awakening. The distractions are falling away. The masks are slipping. The old version of you, the people pleaser, the overthinker, the one who settled just to feel safe, is dissolving. Because you no longer crave safety. You crave truth. And truth is never found in the crowd. It's found in the quiet corners of the soul, where only the brave dare to go. That's you. You're not here to chase what the world worships. You're here to anchor what the world forgot. Love, wisdom, intuition, God, stillness, the sacred. You don't need to become anything. You just need to remember who you already are. And when you do, something incredible happens. You stop searching. You start aligning. You stop forcing. You start flowing. You stop fearing. You start knowing. That knowing? It's unshakable. It's the knowing that you're guided, even when you're alone. Protected, even when you're doubted. Chosen, even when you're overlooked. Because the universe doesn't choose the loudest, the richest, or the most popular. It chooses the ready, the willing, the ones who've walked through fire and still chose to stay soft. The ones who broke, but didn't become bitter. The ones who lost everything, but still chose love. And if that's you, then hear this loud and clear. You are not crazy. You are called. You are not late. You are right on divine time. You are not alone. You are awakening. Everything you've lost was a clearing. Everything that hurt was a lesson. Everything you questioned was preparing you to carry this exact message at this exact moment, in this exact lifetime. You're here for a reason. So stop hiding your truth. Stop silencing your soul. Stop pretending to be less so others feel more. You were never meant to shrink. You were meant to shock, to shake, to shift this entire planet one soul at a time, starting with your own. And yes, it's heavy sometimes. Yes, it's lonely. But the chosen path is never walked in crowds. It's walked in covenants, between you and the divine, between your soul and your mission. And that mission, it's just beginning. You don't need all the answers. You just need to trust the alignment. You don't need a map. You are the map. You don't need followers. You need faith. Because the moment you stop waiting to be validated and start living as if you are already chosen, everything shifts. People start to feel your frequency before you speak. Doors open without you knocking. The right ones are drawn to you effortlessly, not because of what you say, but because of who you've become. This is the power of awakened truth. It doesn't chase. It doesn't beg. It simply is. And everything that's meant for it flows directly to it. You are rare. You are sacred. You are part of the 2% who came here to remember, so that others could too. So walk like the universe is watching, because it is. Speak like your voice carries light, because it does. Live like your timeline depends on you, because it does. The world is waking up.